add myself to the stream. What up, people? I am just talking bullshit, and I just want to send a link. There we go. So if you look on the YouTube, you could go to the link, and fuck you. I don't need to talk to you on the phone anymore. So
Oh, fuck you.
I'm live right now. So
He's taking me hostage.
you better.
It's supposed to be a private call.
We were talking in privacy.
Word.
What up, people? This is Sight Beyond Sight, even though I might change the goddamn thing. And it's a Saturday, and I'm waiting for people to come on and join the fucking live stream so we could talk. I'm gonna hang up on you, Ruben. Join the fucking live stream. Stop being a bitch. Peace out. Peace out.
Peace.
So anyway, I just want to talk about random shit. Here we go. There's one of the people. What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. I'm just trying to fix this shit. I hear you. I'm just
I
gotta
hear you too.
disconnect one to the other. But
Let me just put up my
hold on.
speakers.
Talk now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't hear you. Fuck.
You fucked it up.
Alright. That is crazy because I just left the party. I wanted to get unpretty. It's that big ass earrings on as I realized.
You want to get unpretty? I'm waiting for Ruben to join, but we'll see. Yeah, me and
Fucking
Ruben were
nah, it's
talking.
one of
I
those
had
things where
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like this Wednesday when I was having my talk and shit, I brought up the fact I was like, it's one of the things that kind of kills me. And I was like, it took me a minute, but I kind of do realize it. I was like, there was a point in time where I would put effort into like how I looked in certain aspects and when I'm doing shit. And I got lazy
Yeah,
on it, wearing sweatpants or being half-assed with certain outfits. So I was trying to do more now where I'm going out and I'm buying, like I'm gonna build a little bit more of a sneaker collection to have more options and to have more things like that, just because it does help out your self-esteem alone. Like, yeah, I don't maybe not do shit every fucking week, like going out or doing shit, but every week I wear the same fucking uniform to go to fucking work, and then I
yeah,
come on the days off, I'm not doing shit, and I'm like still bummy. And it's like, no, when you
yeah,
dress nice, sometimes it just gives you a better energy.
yeah. This is
Yeah,
truth.
yeah. So that's what I'm been trying to work on right now to give myself a little bit more of a like, yeah, fuck it. Like, remember you used to actually fucking do this. Mm. Like, yeah, what the fuck's going on? As I'm fucking half out of it.
Nothing. I had to call Ruben before because it wasn't a situation. I ain't gonna say that. It
Mm.
was it was just a funny story because Ruben's one of those guys that sometimes he's part of the He-Man Woman Hater Club.
Okay.
so, so hold on. This motherfucker. There we go. What's up? You can hear us, Ruben?
Definitely not my
This
speaker.
motherfucker. Ruben, fix your goddamn mic. We can't hear you.
You know what's fucked up? So I'm at the fucking my niece's party and shit, and it's like 7:30, almost 8 o'clock. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, I don't even feel hungry, so I took obviously food to bring home. I
Yeah,
swear, since I've gotten home, the liquor hit me, the hunger hit me. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah. That's what happens when you drink.
Yeah,
You're fucking more hungry.
like, man, fucking annoying. Freaking, I was doing somewhat decent. Actually, no one more.
Yo, so I'll
What up?
tell you. Oh, wait, Ruben. Hey, no, he turned off his mic. So anyway, so I was out with yo, Ruben.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can
Cool,
hear me?
cool. Yeah, I can hear you. So anyway, let me just recap Andrew real quick. So I had to call Ruben because Jen hit make a long story short. We went back to my house and she was like, I got to show you the show, right?
Okay.
So the show is on Netflix called Sex Life.
I feel like I've
Alright.
seen that. But okay. Not watched it, but I've seen the name. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let me see. The first 3 minutes, I fucking knew where the show was going and I hated the main character, which was the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think she was trying to relate to the girl aspect. So it starts out, this girl is fantasizing about her getting like fucked in a club, whatever.
All
and
right.
she gets sucked and all that. And then she wakes up and she's getting she's breastfeeding one of her kids.
All right.
So I was like, okay, I see this. Like, it's a girl that's thinking about her past,
Mm-hmm.
and she has kids and she's married. So then, again, another minute or two, they show the whole thing. Basically, they show her husband, which is like a perfect husband in a sense. Like, he's no homo, physically fit, got a 6-pack, he's rich, they live in a mansion, they got 2 kids together, so he's making mad dough. He's a good guy, he's faithful. But she keeps thinking about her fucking life and getting fucked. And her literal words in the show were, I did this many things out of the Kama Sutra from random guys, right?
Yeah.
So Jen was trying to tell me more of the whole, like, hey, like, watch the show is good because I kind of feel for her. I kind of feel for the husband too, but I kind of feel for her. And I was like, you know, and I made her pause it 3 times because she showed me she had to fast forward because I was explaining it already. She was trying to make her point, like, oh, the guy was a piece of shit too. Do you know the only thing that he did bad in the show was? Well, 2 things.
Yeah.
One, he wasn't having the sex with her that she wanted. And 2, he read her diary of how she wanted to get fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she told me this because I didn't watch the show, but she trying to show me shit, and she fast forwarded it. So when he read her diary and did what she wanted to in her diary, she liked it. But then when she found out he read the diary, she was disgusted by it. And then he had a chance to cheat, but he didn't because they were married.
This just sounds like a whole shit show. Like
it's a shit show. But the thing is, my whole concept was this, right? And just fast forwarding everything. So me and Jen were there. She had to fast forward, and I was talking to Jen like, yo, I hope this bitch dies in a fire. Like the character, not the actual actress. Because it's a show. But I was just like, she did everything wrong. She had the perfect life. But she was a hoe, you know, starting out. And this good guy married this hoe. Now she's not happy. Everything else is great. Money, security, a good husband, a fit husband, has 2 healthy kids, living in a mansion, but she's still unhappy. And I was like, yo, Jen. And I kept talking to her about the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she really, like, no, but the husband. And I was like,
no. She wants to blame for shit that doesn't make sense.
But I was like, the girl is in the wrong. And that's what, like, I can't. She was like, you got to watch the whole show. I was like, I'm not watching the show because I already hate her. I hope if you told me that the last episode she died in a fire, I'll be happy. I'll watch it for that. I was like, I don't know. So I had to call Ruben because he's part of my He-Man Woman Hater Club. So.
Oh, okay. No, because it sounds like some shit that is like one of those where
I love
they're trying to overdo like a woman's strength and da da da. Like,
well, it's written. It's a show written for women by women, but it's like realistically, I look at it. When I got back home, I dropped Jen off and I told her, I was like, thank you for making me mad about the show.
Yeah.
And she called me up And then she was like, "Why does it make you mad?" And I was like, "Because the guy is perfect except for one thing, but the girl is perfect in no ways. But she expects more, and ends up leaving the guy with the guy she's fantasizing about in her
Mhm.
relationship." So I was just like, okay, that's why it makes me mad because it's kind of like, yo, like, how can I be excited about a show the main character is a piece of shit? Unless something bad happens to that character. You know what I'm saying? So
Nah,
I was like,
that's true.
whatever.
No, but that's just the way certain shit is. It's like a quick story yesterday. So yesterday I showed the fucking Rob and
Oh
fucking
shit.
the Long Island crew that's still left out here because
What?
it was Joe's birthday today. So
Oh
we were
shit.
chilling yesterday. Yeah. So remember I brought up the Pete Davidson shit.
Yeah.
So when we were talking and shit, he said something, and I was just like, "Oh wow, that's mad weird and creepy," because it's part of an episode in the show where Pete Davidson just randomly is like, "You know what? I want to be a father," and he goes out he's trying to like find like his mom goes around trying to find surrogates, and
Yeah.
then like this girlfriend in the show, she has a kid, so he's like, "I'm gonna be dad for the day," da da da, but nobody's taking him serious. So it's like it's a funny thing because it's like why I like Pete Davidson shit is because I'm into that dark fucking self-hate humor type shit. Yeah. So it's basically that, like and he's just being him, he's being a normal self, but then at the end, it obviously goes bad. But then yesterday talking to Robin and hearing this shit, and I'm just looking at him like that shit is mad weird because I would ask you or even Chris, like, you'd be like, Rob wouldn't want to have kids, but yesterday he was saying he would love to have kids. He would want to have
No,
kids.
I
Yeah.
knew. I've been to that. Rob
Okay.
wants to have kids,
Mhm.
but he doesn't trust any female. He's like, yo, I'll kill that bitch to have my kids.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like the way the dynamic is right now with the world is just, it's hard to really find something in that aspect. Like we're looking for shit that doesn't exist anymore.
Go ahead, Ruben. Join in.
Like people have kids now through surrogates.
While I
Like
was
it's just
on the
normal.
phone, I was saying that female, basically, since she was living her lifestyle, having fun, right?
Yeah.
Now she's locked down. Like she got dream home, dream family, dream husband, all that. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because she's bored.
Yeah, exactly.
Humble.
And
So now
the,
she's looking at her past where things were fun for her and she was happy, type of thing. Now she's over here, saying sex is not good. Because I was telling Nick, a woman is most likely, especially living today, is going to have sex with a man. So you already know what you're getting into, right?
mm-hmm.
And a woman, they get sexually, like pleasure from their mind.
Okay.
So they like whatever fancy, whatever clicks you do, you know what I mean? That's why any man can make like a woman come as long as you get their head clicking. Now, since she's living this lifestyle, she's a married woman, she's doing whatever, she's bored, she don't want to do this no more.
You're
So
talking
now
about
those
the
clicks with that not clicking anymore.
Yeah,
So
but
now
see,
she's thinking
those
about
are
the
the
past and
things.
say, "Oh, I need, I want to have sex like this because this is what made me feel good." But I bet you her husband
Okay.
made her at one point because she was happy and she was thrilled about it.
But you see how fucked up that is, though? And
Yeah.
aspect, like,
Oh yeah,
you
it's
take a
fucked
guy
up.
as a ring, you take the whole shit, you do all of this aspect in that scenario, and then you're like, not saying that is the excuses that you're bored, but in the aspect you're kind of bored, depending on how the relationship works, and then you just leave the person, or you find someone who excites you more, or the excitement of talking to this person makes it more interesting. That's what is like. That's why relationships now don't work, and people do what they do, where it's like, nah, I'm dating or nah, I'm talking, because those are easier aspects to not, especially as a mental thing. When you say you're dating or you call someone your girlfriend or boyfriend or something like that, it becomes a thing. It's like the same way they say you don't name a child before the child is born. because once you give it a name or you give it something or a title, it becomes very prevalent in your mind and it keeps going and it stays there. So that's why now the era that we're living in is like nobody's ever, you don't see people throwing titles. And when you see people throwing titles, half the time you're going like, nigga, I've been talking for years and y'all finally do this shit. Like, you know, like, and half the time it doesn't work and sometimes it does work. It's just, that's just where we are. And partially that comes off of social media where it's like, I don't talk to Ruben. Let's say if you were more active on social media, like heavy, like a social media person. I could not talk to you for months and I would know your fucking life just off of social media. And that's what a lot of people fucking do. Like there's a lot of people out here that they live their life through social media and I don't even could talk to them and I could be like, I already know what half the shit they go through their life because it's right there.
I disagree with that only because I feel like people only post the good shit.
No, they do, but that's, I'm not saying it like they're saying like they're posting everything and good, bad, but you get a perspective of certain shit. Like you could see certain aspects of things, like, and that's how you able to work with shit.
No,
What? Say that again, Ruben. Your phone sucks.
Look, bro, I tell you, man, I'm outside right now, man. Connection. I'm saying you still look at the eyes at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because it is on media. Like I know you've been to, I don't know, Texas or California on your social media.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta go to my car to get my Switch.
Why are you all up in the camera?
Because I'm looking right at the shit. I forgot that I could stop the camera like this and not the mask.
So I'm by myself again, you motherfuckers?
Nah, I'm still.
So do you want kids? I didn't ask you that. Do you want kids?
Me?
Yeah.
Like, I want to start a family. I do. But it's just, I do want to start a family. I do want kids. But I know those kids are going to be going through it, man. It's crazy. Like,
Daddy,
crazy,
they don't call
man.
it Christmas. They call it holidays. What?
Holiday.
Motherfucker, it's Christmas.
Went to school. I saw her a whole bunch of cats. It was all hiss at me.
You can hear this motherfucker coming back in this room.
Oh man! All right, I'm back.
So Andrew,
what up?
What?
No, because I wanted to make fun of Kenny for a second, only because I know I could get away with it on here. So all right. So on my brother's side, like that whole shit. There's this one chick. Like, don't get me wrong, she's beautiful as fuck, but she mad young. So I knew when Kenny came through that he was gonna see her and he was gonna be like, "Yo, who that?" Da, 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 da. So I told him, I'm like, "Yo," I was like, "Nigga, she young." He's like, "But she got a tattoo on her thigh because of like the dress she was wearing." I was like, "Nigga, she's 21." He was like, "Oh shit." It's like, "Yeah, nigga." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, shit. I don't know. That shit was just funny as fuck. Cause I feel like anybody who I would bring over there, they see her, they're gonna feel that way. Cause I'd still be like sometimes like, "Damn it, this girl, if she was older." Like,
I can tell you another story, but this can't
What's
be
up?
live.
yeah.
So, Andrew, do you want kids?
Like I said already once when I had this conversation, I do, but I had rules to it, and the rules became more prevalent once I started realizing the type of people I deal with. So I'm not trying to raise a kid in a broken home. I know who I am. I know what I do, but I know what I can and cannot do because I know how I am mentally. That's part of the reason why my old scenario happened, because I'm not dealing with that shit. Like, I grew up in a certain foundation, and I want to be able to give that to someone that I would create, you know?
Okay.
Damn, that was the most fucking lined out PC shit ever. But yeah, that's how I see the shit. Because it's stupid. Like, yeah, I want kids and da 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 da, but it's like, nigga, you act like you fucking finding random ass girls that are worth doing all of that shit and stressing yourself out. Like, no, I'm good. Like, if that shit was meant to happen and it was gonna happen, it will happen.
My kids are gonna be warriors.
Oh, they all gonna be like fucking Aztec warriors. They're gonna I'll put the face paint on them while they're in the fucking NICU, whatever. I'm gonna just be like, I'm gonna just walk in there with the fucking Lion King shit. Like, what was it? Coconut that he opened up, and he was just like, all of that shit.
You be on top of the hospital, like.
Like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, it's the one
Circle of life.
Exactly.
Yo, that would be the greatest birth ever video if you had like those you paid people to come and sing
Mhm.
you in the parking lot.
They gotta do that, whatever. Yeah.
That shit would be fucking
Listen,
amazing.
I will pay someone who could drive a droid, and I'll be like, I'm gonna go to the roof, and I'm gonna just hold my kid up, and you're gonna fucking circle around and make it look mad crazy.
You're gonna fucking record all these people singing "Circle of Life."
Yeah.
My kid's gonna be fucking a star, nigga, right from birth.
You gotta do it.
Must.
Yeah, don't listen to the baby mom. She crazy. She going
Yeah,
through
but
month
you're
puzzle.
not gonna seem
I
crazy,
want my
but like,
kid- You know how in Lion King? You know how Lion King is like Simba. I want my kids to have that same feeling for me. When they end their life, just gonna see my like face pop up in the clouds. Singing, son, my daughter. Like
So you want to die falling off a cliff?
that's what I was about to say. You want your uncle to kill you? What's up?
That's the most fucked up shit about Lion King. It was like,
no,
don't get me wrong.
I'm just saying,
Simba
like,
loved his father, but
me in the
he had to watch
clouds.
his father get fucked up.
I'm not saying I'm dead.
He's like,
He appeared in the clouds, says Simba.
no,
If I
he
had
said
that
he's-
feeling, but
he's
have
not saying
that,
he's dead. He just wants to see. He wants, if he has a daughter, to see this nigga in the clouds. Like, don't do that. I'll
That
kill
would be
you.
fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna even
oh
lie.
my son, my
My
son.
dad's in the clouds.
Just a random, like, what the fuck? Freaking. Oh, I feel like I had one of those things that happened to me recently where it was like a random sign, and I was like, this shit is so weird.
This nigga has a
So I had
fucking
the
monkey.
clouds.
Yeah,
He's
man.
like, whoa. Hello?
Nah, sometimes you get them random ass things like, you be like, yo, why is this so close to what I was just talking about or something? And then it's like, no.
That would be mad funny. He sees like a fucking meerkat in a fucking boar.
That'd be awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
For me, it'd be most likely a fucking gorilla just looking at me like this. And just like, what are you doing? I'd be like, the fuck?
My life turned into a Disney movie.
The fucked up shit is the thing, like a Disney movie is a scary ass aspect. Like, fuck,
Yeah.
somebody gonna die.
Yeah, go to all the African animals in Long Island.
You ain't living, you gonna die.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. A fucking fucking ape and hyenas and a fucking lion and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, no.
Oh shit, man.
Oh my god, yeah.
I wish we had 1,000
Oh,
followers so I could get money for this.
Oh yeah. Listen, I give out jokes for free.
Oh my god, that was funny.
The only thing that would be bad about the 1,000 followers and all that shit is that I will have to control certain things that I say and do. Because once you get up to a certain level, people are watching too much. Like, there's shit
bro,
that happens.
America.
What happened? Yo, Ruben, you really gotta get better
I
service.
said,
on
this
it.
is America, freedom of speech.
Exactly.
Yeah, that shit hasn't
Goddamn,
been
bruh.
freedom of speech since I don't
Nah.
even know when.
If we went to Rumble, we got freedom.
Oh yeah.
Until Rumble gets too popular.
Yo, Elon Musk sold Twitter already.
Yeah, because he's a rich, smart motherfucker. He was
Yeah,
just
he
like,
sold
let me
some
buy
chick.
Twitch. let me buy this and let me fucking sell it. I'm gonna sell it for more than I bought it for.
But the thing is, it didn't
I'm going to Mars,
gain
motherfucker.
value. How did it gain? Like, I heard people hating it after he bought it. Like, for some
You know
reason,
why?
it gained
No.
somewhat
You know
value.
why? Because he stopped people from doing the stupid complaining.
Yeah. Okay.
So he bring people on that got kicked off because they got complained on,
Mhm.
and that's why people started hating it because it's like Trump. They were just like, oh, they kicked Trump off, and when he got on, he got Trump back on.
You see, but the
And-
thing is about that, that's a very what's a good way to say it? Like, it's like
Political?
picking at straws, pulling at straws type shit. Because like
No, but
depending on who
even-
you are, because depending on who you are, you can't say certain shit, but you can't say certain, like, I can't go on Twitter and just violate people if I want to and dumb report me, because then I get in Twitter jail. But if you're somebody popular, you could say vile shit like how you're saying now, what they're doing. And it's a toss up. Like, when I was in Florida, bro, because I was bored, I burnt the whole Twitter shit. I went in on a bitch. I was just like, yo, the only reason
you
Spanish.
fucking bitch.
Nah, because she got me tight, because like she put a post, like one of her posts that came up because it was a part of the conversation. It was like, oh, this is why I don't fuck with the Spanish side of my family, because Spanish people are racist, because they found a video of Spanish people beating up a retarded black dude in the city. So that shit got me tight, because I was like, maybe they don't fuck with you because they just don't fucking like you. Like, I just started like fucking with it because like you talk mad shit about things and you like, you're an attention whore. Like, you want to be, oh, I would suck this person's dick so people could
Oh.
like comment on your Twitter thing, and then she'll turn around and say some other wild random shit. So it's like yeah, it got to the point where this is why I don't fuck with Twitter, because my brain doesn't, like, I want to let you know, like, you're a fucking retard. And I would say it, and sometimes those people catch what I'm saying on their comments of 50 and up people, and some people ready to get mad and block, like, actually report my ass. And like half the time I'll be there and I'm like, yo, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'm like, yo, you could block me. Like, at the end of the day, I just go on my phone and like delete the fucking app and I go right back to Instagram or Facebook. I was like, I don't care as much as y'all do. This is why I speak to y'all the way I do. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't understand like the Elon Musk selling and then people saying that it sucks, and then celebrities are like, oh, I'm not gonna pay for a blue check and da-da. Like, I don't understand how that whole app even exists though, like with everything that was happening throughout the last couple of months.
Yo, I don't know how Ruben is still on Instagram with all the shit. Ruben would hit me up one day. He was like, he'll be like, yo, look what I sent you on Instagram. Because I never, I log off it all the time.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, look at what I posted. And he'll post a picture of what he posted in a fucking Instagram thing. And it's just like, it's mad funny because it's like, it's real shit. It's usually against women because, you know, fuck it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's fun. It's funny, but real. And I'm surprised this motherfucker didn't get kicked off yet, because they'd be like, yo, fuck you, simp motherfucker.
Because on Instagram, it's different. Like, Instagram, they have rules or certain shit like that. But if it's like a meme or a post, anything that was, if it's already posted on there, you can't get in trouble for it. Unless it's like music that somebody somehow said they didn't own the rights or blah, blah, blah. Like, however that shit works.
Oh, no, I got some posts taken down.
Okay.
Went down to like a conversation. And then a couple of times.
You know why? Because you don't have a verified check. Yeah, no, I get you. It's at the end of I can't even tell you how this
99.
Yeah. Like, I wish I could be like, oh, this is why social media, but this shit makes up rules as the days go by half the time.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. My fucking.
I miss old Facebook. I miss coming home and doing my fucking farm. Growing my plants. That's old Facebook. That was Facebook before you were old enough to have one, Ruben.
Oh, he said you young.
Oh, but I had MySpace. You're talking like I'm younger than you. Like,
yo, I do that shit. I do that to Kenny too. Kenny be getting tight. He's like, yo, you be acting like I'm mad young. I'm like, nah, you young enough though that I can do this. like, it's just funny as fuck. Like, yeah, nah, y'all were all there. Y'all got to see us do it.
Oh, Ruben, he said you got to see us do it, son. And I can't even get mad at you because Ruben does that shit
Nah.
to me where he's like, nigga, you old. You were like, you grew up with this this music. And I was like, I was born in the 80s. I didn't grow up in the 80s. It was just like, no, you grew up in the 80s. Like I was like, no, if I grew up in the 80s, I'd be doing
He
coke.
was like 2-3 years old.
Nah, but that's a different like when people get, oh, 80s babies, 90s babies. It's like, yo, listen, if you're a 90s baby, you don't know nothing about the 90s. You know about, but you don't know like the way an 80s baby would know because we actually grew up with it. That's why I had these arguments
Ruben,
when we talk about rap music alone. It's like, nigga, like I literally was watching, nothing but a G Thing video. You got to watch it on YouTube a couple of years later when you got older.
Oh, Ruben,
and I respect it. It's cool not to do that, but you know what? I'm just telling you real perspective of what it is.
Wildin', you wildin'.
Ruben, what year were you born?
96.
I was born 91.
Get the fuck out, really? Damn, you were a lot older than
91.
Oh,
I thought you were like, I thought he was like 93, 92 type shit. Wasn't really thinking like he was gonna be 91. So he's like Kenny's age almost, basically. Yeah. You're so young as fuck, my
talking
nigga.
Like I'm like maybe like what? Like 4 years younger than you.
Do you want me to pull up all the things that came out in 91 that you could reference, that you know about, and we could talk about it? And what it takes, what is it? At least 6 to 7 years that you start remembering shit.
Oh shit! He said you're too young to remember.
No, but I'm just saying, like, but it's just what it is. Like,
no, answer my question. How old?
What? I didn't hear what you said.
91.
What?
He said how old
your age
when you were 91.
91. Well, I was born in 86. I was 4. No.
So you was 4. You was basically just.
You were 5 years old.
5 years old, yeah. 5 years old, yeah. And then you wonder why.
So you was basically like a little.
No, I was too young to know certain shit, but this is what I tell everybody.
No,
I don't no.
But
early 90s, I don't tell anybody I do early 90s.
My pops showed me so much things in the 80s, like
no, and I agree with
like
that.
I grew up in the 90s, but I know.
No, listen, I'm not saying it in that because I agree, because that's the same with me. Like I have my older brother taught me shit. I'm not saying the older people don't show you shit. I'm just saying like there's certain things that you remember when you actually got to experience it and deal with it. That is a different feeling. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like I talked to someone about what is that? The Last Airbender, that fucking cartoon that everybody hypes up.
That much of a
nigga, I was too old for that shit when it came out. I was doing other shit. Y'all niggas like that shit like it was
I'm older than you, and
nigga, you're a year older than me, and you watch way more cartoons than me.
Why are you saying that like a bad thing? Fuck you.
I'm just being honest, though. Like, I'm being honest. Like,
yo, why you said that? You was a year older, watching way more cartoons. I mean, like at least 2 years younger than me now, Nick.
No, because it's the same way. Like when people try to talk to me about SpongeBob, and I'm like, you do realize when SpongeBob was like popular, I was like, basically almost in high school, and that cartoon was the most dumbest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. But y'all love that shit. I respect that y'all love it and y'all think it's funny, but that show was the dumbest cartoon I've ever seen in my life.
Cycle once we hit that age. Because I was looking at cartoons, I was coming out, I was 18 and saying the same thing. This is dumb as shit.
No, but
back in my day,
it's just what it is. Yeah. Nah, back in my day, we had action cartoons and motherfuckers were.
The 80s cartoons were the best. But I'll play something for you guys.
No, yeah, the 80s cartoons are the best. Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me.
Like, man, like, I know, man, you remember when Triumph came out? That was a special event. Remember when freaking Ready or Not came out? That was a special event. Like, you were watching MTV ready to watch that video.
What is
Back when MTV played videos.
Oh, man, I'll show you this.
Yo, you seen Ice Spice's mom? Yo, Ice Spice's mom is fucking bad.
Really? They took SpongeBob.
How can I lose if I'm already chose? Like, If she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch tired every time that I post. Damn.
Fucking
The
wait.
party not lit, then I better not go. If she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch tired every time that I post. Damn, it's not bad, they be on my ass. I can hear you hating from the back. Balenciaga baddie got a bag. Nigga munching ate it from the back. Nigga feeling gotta play it cool. Got the zaddy, I'ma make a move. Breaking records and I'm breaking news. Bitch be pressed like who you? I get whatever I like. Bitches won't bark, but they wanna bite. I got 2 million for using a mic, bitch. Think about that when you type. She wanna party.
You're done. You're done, bitch. Tired of
Nigga,
it.
we were at my niece's party, like twice they put, and I'm like, what the fuck do I got Ice Spice? I'm like, I'm looking at my cousin, I'm like, yo, bro, like, don't do it. Don't like, don't dance to this shit. Like, and honest to God, like, she has skill, but is not developed the right way. Because her voice is mad unique. It's just,
Well, Ice?
they don't. Yeah, if you really look at like her voice, like even was it Glorilla? Glorilla has like a little bit more of a deeper aspect to her shit. But the voices, they actually.
Bro, that sounds like a.
No, but I'm saying like you do
Man,
posse
bro.
because like your voice is what you do. I'm not saying that I fucking like her. I'm just saying that they have a voice that actually makes them stand out and not like sound like every other fucking
low-key,
rapper
I get
shit. Mhm.
Ruben, your fucking phone sucks.
Ah!
This motherfucker.
I heard that though. Yeah, Ruben, you seen the Mario movie?
Nah,
I
I
thought you
need
did.
to.
Yeah, you definitely gotta watch that shit, bro. That shit was freaking fire. For a fucking kids movie, it was fire.
So, actually, now I get to see you and whatever.
Mhm.
What did you think about Guardians?
Me, you talking to me, right?
Yeah. Ruben never sees shit.
You know what's weird? It's like for some reason I really did love that movie. Like I want to watch it again because I like the way that they told the story. Like they really kept the Star-Lord story going with the whole Gamora shit and the way they stretched it out with that. I think the Rocket aspect, especially as it got later on after the movie came out and everybody started piecing the stories, the way James Gunn put the story together, it makes those movies even tighter, as good as they are, because every character in those movies, and this is why I really fuck with it, they really do have their own standalone part and aspect that you could be there and like besides Groot, and then it's like, you know, obviously people love Baby Groot, blah, 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 but Jax, he was always comic relief, but you knew he had the scars of he wanted to kill Thanos, he wanted to do this and da. Like they try to explain it a little bit, and they let him be funny. Like then the Star-Lord, Gamora, Nebula shit was what it was. I think the Rocket was the perfect one to be the end because like he was the one that you didn't know too much about, especially if you wasn't a fan of them and all of that, and they were able to. Easiest sympathy card to pull is torturing animals and torturing people, living things, and doing shit like that. So it really made it fucking great. Like that's why I love the what is it? When they played the No Sleep to Brooklyn, that scene, fucking fire. I was mad because I'm sitting. One, I had Dante, so I know Dante don't know Beastie Boys, and then I got freaking like a nerd couple on the other side of me, and I'm here like by my feet, like yo, I don't like. They played a lot of good songs in that movie, and I like when I seen on YouTube, James Gunn, he was saying, he was like, the reason why he did the music like that is a perspective aspect for that person. Like they were in that zone, that's the song that they're hearing, they feeling, that's why it goes in that way. So if I had maybe a critique, and like I was telling Dante, it's like, no, I did have a high hope for Warlock. Like, because I was hoping that it would be certain things, and then once it got was like 20, almost half hour in when High Evolutionary was talking to this chick, and then obviously like, oh, you created him, and then you took him out too early, blah blah blah. I was like, all right, they're gonna make him like this, and then put him in Guardians. I already knew that was gonna end up happening once they said that. Yeah. So besides that, everything else I was fucking good with. I even loved the scene when they went to the planet with the animal people, even though I was like, damn, that was fucked up.
That was fun.
Quick.
That was fun.
But I love the way they played everything. It felt like Star Wars almost, where it was like the one team was doing this, and then the other team doing, and they were supposed to get together, but then it fucked up, and then now they got to go back. Like that was one of the things I loved. Yeah,
I liked the movie. I think it was good, especially like for a Marvel movie, especially lately. I feel like it was good, and I think it was a good ending to a trilogy.
it was.
The only if like I said, I was telling Ruben about this, but I was like, my only critiques really were it was one, I didn't like you didn't need Warlock in that movie at all.
Technically, no.
No. And I was like that whole concept with Warlock, because you nerfed what he could really do and who he really is to nothing, like a joke.
I think the studio fucked that up because you did hear James Gunn's even opened up and said he wasn't originally gonna do Higher Evolutionary. He wanted to do an what's his name, Annihilus or whatever his name is.
See, that would have been better.
Yeah.
Because my critique was that and the character High Evolutionary, where it was just like, why did you make him this kind of guy when he is supposed to be more badass and powerful than what he was?
Mm-hmm.
So I just looked at it like, yeah, I didn't like the villain and I didn't like Warlock, but the storyline was good, and it wasn't like Star-Lord was being a little bitch to Gamora. It was just like that whole storyline was cool.
No, but it was a funny bitch shit because he wasn't like overly lovey. Like he would be funny too. Because I love like in that elevator scene when you're like, and she became a dick. Like that shit was mad funny because it's like that's real.
Even when he was hitting on the other girls, like, you know what? I could fucking get this girl right now. Hold on, watch this. And even looking at Nebula, like, you know what, your eyes are nice. You know, like you do have nice fucking eyes. But all those little scenes didn't bother me. Third critique I would have, but this is a nitpick now, would be instead of doing Rocket like dying and not having him until the end, I would have said for the story for the movie, let him live but slowly get weaker and die, like he's dying,
like so a breakdown
in the movie like active. But I think that the whole backstory was cool. I thought everything was good. I just didn't like. I think everything with Warlock should have been taken out.
It could get taken out and nobody will realize it. To be honest,
nobody cares because again, he's not. His fame in the comic books was the Infinity War. That already gone and past. Now you nerfed him to be this dumb, like childish, dumb character.
And they need to find another Jax when they decide to make the reboot or whatever.
No, I don't think they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. To be honest,
they'll do it if they had to. But the thing is, like, because it's like how you just said, like, I know about the High Evolutionary, the gist of him more or less. Like what I know you know obviously more. So like you saying that, like, oh, you should have been certain things. I'm going off of like I enjoyed the way the guy acted. I enjoyed the way he portrayed the character and like himself as that character from what I would know. So like I knew like he had because the only time I ever seen him was the X-Men episode with you know, Quicksilver and shit. That whole episode that happens. So I know he's like, to me, I thought he was a robot or whatever, blah blah. So I think what kind of made me a little bit less like, all right, I can get Marvel and how they don't want to put masks on people, and like James Gunn even brought up the fact like because somebody I guess asked him like, oh, why didn't Star-Lord wear the mask? And he was like, because of this certain action scene, Chris Pratt wouldn't have been able to move his head to shoot and do certain shit, so the helmet was kind of wouldn't work. So I get, but because sometimes you want to show the face, you want to, you know, because there's money like that. But I think what made it easier for me to be like, all right, I could let that rock is because Gamora ripping his face off at the end was like, this was probably the darkest Marvel movie in a while.
It was because
there was a lot of blood, a lot of.
I'll agree with that one. Well, I didn't expect the end when he took off his fucking face. I was like, wow, okay, you're going a little dark. But when Rocket was fucking it up, I don't care about that. I like the helmet that he has in the comics.
Don't get me wrong, it's probably cool, but I've never seen it. So like, I'm speaking on the side of those fans, like the fans that only know certain shit, you know.
But what I did like from it, because when I first saw the trailer, I was like, he looks like RoboCop. and they made that joke in the movie. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Like at least you know what the fuck you're doing.
So many good jokes. So many like they just that movie like it.
They ended it good. I think they for a fucking thing they ended it like if James. I think it's James Gunn, right?
Yeah, James Gunn is now doing. He's the guy
Doing
who's going to
DC.
save DC. He's going to save DC.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
We'll see how that happens.
I trust. I listen. I can't. I love all three Guardians. I think Peacemaker as a TV show and having a character like John Cena and Peacemaker and making, but I don't know shit about those alien things. Maybe it is an actual real storyline to it, but the storyline wasn't bad and it was entertaining. Like he knows how to do good action with good comedy, good like he knows how to blend it well. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I think I like him, like watching his shit. Because I always get to laugh and then I get to see like a good action scene and all that. Like, so it's fucking great. Yeah.
All I know is that because Flash is already done, so they can't be like, hey, and they probably spent like billions of dollars in the movie, so they can't just be like, oh, this is not gonna happen.
Well, the reason why Ezra Miller didn't get fired because they already had to do what they had to do.
Yeah, and then Aquaman 2 is the same thing with the girl. They're like, hey, we filmed most of the shit, just come along. But
that's right now.
I just hope the next Superman is a good Superman because the guy said he ain't playing Henry Cavill. He was like, I'm not playing Superman no more.
He's not playing it because James Gunn said he's not playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think it's gonna be. You know why it sucks? Is because if you know about all the shit you follow it, you know that Flash is so disconnected to what's about to happen in the DC universe that it's like even if Flash is fucking amazing, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get anything from that, you know? Like,
yeah.
So you go, what is it? Superman's Legacy, I think it's called, whatever. That's the first James Gunn DC movie.
I think so.
Like, I'm hoping it's gonna be good. And I know he's saying he's not trying to do a backstory, he's trying to go right in and trying to do certain shit. So I don't know. It's one of those where
I want to see first who he gets to play Superman. Then because I somebody else said it before, I forgot what podcast I was listening to, but it's like, how do you get the guy who's perfect for the role and fuck everything up? Like, that's the only thing.
Because I don't remember. I do remember we went to watch. No, I remember we watched the movie together, but I don't remember how you felt about it originally, Harry Kent, like playing Superman. Because I don't remember how I felt as him being Superman. I just remember watching the first movie and being holy shit, this movie was fire. Yeah.
I thought, and I remember because going in the theater, I thought the movie was fucking great. And I'll tell you the scene because I know what DC tries to do, and this is where they fail. They want to make Superman super bubbly and cartoony, and light and all this stuff, and then Batman super dark and realistic.
And they do that all the time. They did it from the cartoon. They do it all the time.
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah. In the movies, they don't know how to do it. But what they did with the Man of Steel movie was made Superman in a realistic role. So I'll tell you one of the scenes that got me like fucking awesome was in that movie when he was working at the diner and that guy threw the milkshake all over him.
Yeah, I know what you're going on.
Like he was human. He was human. Like he was like, he wiped his face off and he's like, I'm gonna fuck him up. And it took the other girl to be like, chill. And he was like, you know what? Took off his apron, went outside, and he fucked up that nigga's truck. Now, people that like Superman in the comic books will be like, Superman would never do that because that shows like a weakness. Wow, Roman just left. But that shows like a weakness. But in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, you can't have a realistic Batman and a super fake bubbly Superman. Make Superman real. He's being human. He said, you know what? I'm going to fuck this guy up. Somebody said, hey, relax. He went outside and he fucked the guy's truck up.
Yeah.
And the guy went outside like, what happened? So it was just like, to me, that movie was almost, and I'll say almost, like flawless. There were certain things that could have been better, but
The only thing that I really didn't like in Man of Steel, like, and it's still to this day, 'cause I think I'm gonna watch it, probably go to sleep. I tend to fast forward at least what is it, probably 25 minutes. I go right into when Zod pulls up and he starts talking on the TV, because after that, the rest of the movie is just nonstop fucking awesomeness.
it is.
Honestly, like I don't
And
really,
they did,
I get bored with the talking. I'm not gonna.
I like, you know what? Because that was the start of it. So
Mhm.
I don't mind a little talking shit, even though when he
Yeah.
was a kid, but it was like, all right, his father was kind of telling him, like, you got to hold back. You
Mhm.
know what you are. Like, you can't just punk people. It's almost like the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
You got powers, you can't beat up the bully now.
Mhm.
So it was just like, all right, you're telling him this. But I think the flaw in Man of Steel was letting his father die, because that
Alright.
was stupid. And then, to be honest, to me, that was the only flaw. Because even though people like, he would never kill Zod, that's not part. I was
I
just
still
like,
feel like he
Zod was
would.
telling him. Zod was telling him, I'm never gonna stop. There's no prison that can hold me. And then that
He
fucking
ain't had to negative his own shit. He couldn't be like.
like that. I always refer to that. Like, yo, that fucking wail he does, like that
Mhm.
crying, like I had to kill him. I didn't want to do it. That was like, that's Superman in a realistic world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to kill this guy because prison can't hold me, and he's another one of me, and he's ruthless. So he's
And
telling
that's
me
what
the truth,
made
like
that
no one's
movie
gonna
good.
stop me.
That's one of the things that honestly to me made it good, because when he killed him, I was, oh shit. I was like, all right, cool. Like, we have something here. Like, it's like watching Guardians.
Yeah.
You know somebody gonna die. You know something, but you don't see certain shit. And I like that. I respect that because I know that's what they do on that side. But on the DC side, it's like, nah, that's better. Like, fuck it, like do it. This, what is it? Wow, Christopher Reeves. Besides, what is it? Superman 1 and 2? Those are good. I kind of like the one with Richard Pryor, but I like Richard Pryor. And the guy with
No,
the
that was
sun guy.
great. That was horrible.
I know, but I like Richard Pryor. And the sun guy, that was horrible, but it was cool to watch a nigga fight and do with the same power almost. It was, they were campy for what they were for those times.
For those times, yeah.
Yeah. So when you get this one and you get to see some speed, you get to see the power, you get more of an aspect.
They did speed right.
Yeah.
Where everything wasn't slowed down to show you what I'm doing. It was pop, pop, pop. Like, it was super fast. That's what I liked about Man of Steel 2. Like, like the first movie was the fight scenes when all three of them come down and he's just fighting them, and they're going through fucking gas stations and trains. But it wasn't a slow down of the speed. You knew watching
it going.
Super fast. So it's just like pop, 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 and it was just like, that's how you do speed in movies. You don't have to always slow it down.
Like another thing that is just smart directing and putting the sword in. Zod is on Earth. Superman already knows what he could do as Superman. Yeah. That fight between them, you get to see Zod progress and start like, oh, boom, my eyes, oh, boom, and then it's just, man, that shit.
And you see how powerful Zod is when he's like, when Zod is kind of like with the whole eye thing, and then he's a general. Like, that's why I liked it. He's a general of an army of another planet. He's like, what the fuck is these powers? Then he gets used to it like that, where it took Superman years.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I was just like, all right. And that's what made him a good villain. I think the problem with that movie is that they did Zod first. They should have done like Metallo. They should have done somebody street level first. Because you build up.
You know why? Because I think of Metallo as the Metallo in the cartoon with the kryptonite.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess they could find a way to explain the kryptonite and put it in there.
Well, think about it, right? If I were to do a Superman movie, like a first if I were to do DC over and Superman's my first character, I would do Superman as coming out first as doing like bullshit thing, like stopping bank robbers and blah 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 blah, like criminals. Then you have like a Lex Luthor that builds a character like a Metallo, because Lex Luthor is supposed to be business and scientifically smart, not a fucking socially awkward guy.
That one don't matter,
Yeah. So you have them build Metallo. Metallo's more of a street level hero in the sense that he's just a robot with kryptonite on him. And you have Superman trying to work his way to beat him. So he's a guy that can't fly, that can't do all this shit, but he could weaken the strongest quote unquote hero. That would have been a good start. Then you work your way up to Zod and Doomsday and all this stuff.
They could do Parasite. Parasite would have been a good first villain.
Parasite, one, hard to explain, especially in the quote unquote realistic universe. Two, Parasite people don't understand how strong he is. Like, I can copy your fucking powers. Like, he could take on the Justice League. So maybe a second movie, but I wouldn't say first, because again, you gotta, unless your second movie is Zod. So I would say, like, as long as you're building up, that's my whole thing. But you can't start out with Zod, who is another Superman, and just be like,
not because you take away this
Batman.
Yeah. It's not because it's too much of a power fighting aspect. Like, you taking away the big expectation. It's the same way with Venom. Like, you're doing too much of copying it, and you should be trying to work away from it to get to that point.
Yeah.
So it's a bigger pop for it. Yeah, that shit is crazy. Freaking shit. So is Flash is the next movie. You gonna go watch the Spider-Man movie?
The cartoon?
I
don't know. I'm last minute now. I'm just last minute guy. Like, that's what the same thing with the Guardians. I wouldn't have seen it that night if you and my nephew didn't say it was good. But it's not that, because it doesn't mean anything. It's just another cartoon.
Yeah, I get it.
Is in a sense, it's like it doesn't mean whatever. But then after that is what?
Shit, you got what, the Marvels and maybe Flash and Marvels. Yeah,
the Marvels. There's nothing interesting. That's the problem. There's nothing interesting in there.
Unless something happens, like if Secret Wars comes out on whatever would come out on Disney Plus before that, maybe it would help it. But right now, there's not really much to it. It's really.
I heard
the next big movie.
I heard recently that Kevin Feige is actually trying to make things better. I don't know how true that is, but he notices how like they're fucking up lately.
No, there are certain things because you can see little aspects of what they're doing, and it doesn't. I guess might help the writer's strike because it kind of already shut down most shit that's coming out. So
yeah,
I think, and this is why I'm happy that people really are reacting to the way they did with Guardians, is because Guardians had to be that one standalone when you dropped 4 movies before that. In between Spider-Man, and it was like nobody reacted the way they're reacting to Guardians, you know.
And the fucked up thing is to say, because
no, but it's just fucked up because of the fact that they, I get that you do different directors and but you really need someone that wants to stay on the shit. It's like James Gunn said, he was, I didn't like what they did with Star-Lord. Like, I had a plan for Star-Lord. I had to change my third movie what they decided to do in Infinity Wars and everything else. Like,
Yeah,
so
and
that kind of
I heard
yeah.
he wanted Thor in his third movie, but they made
Mm.
the last Thor movie.
Yeah.
He was just like, no, I wanted Thor in the last movie with me, but it's just like, all right. But if DC, listen, if they make great DC movies, even though I don't like his lineup already, to be honest, like
What you mean, like the actors or
no, the movies, because they
Okay.
showed the whole lineup. Because my whole thing is like, one, the Authorities. The Authorities is a group that Jim Lee made when he went to Image at first, and then he went back to DC. So it was just like all his Image characters went to DC. Now, the Authority is like, think of it as a Shield, but I'm not gonna say multiversal. It's like sort of kind of multiversal. Now they have a Superman kind of character. They have a Batman kind of character. They're gay lovers. Then they have like a Hawk woman character, like a girl with angel wings. And then a robotic character, and then a character that gets power from cities. Like it's a weird power. Like
But I think that show, that the one you're talking about from when they were doing that's not a movie, that's a TV show. Like some
I
of them
thought it
are
was a
TV
movie.
shows and some no, not everything's movies. There's like at least 2 or 3 shows and then the rest of movies.
yeah, but I thought the Authority was movie. If
I'm
Authority
not
was
sure.
a TV
That one
show,
I'm not sure. I'm just saying.
I'll
Yeah.
be okay with it. But
Mhm.
if Authority is a movie, then it's kind of like I think he's going too far. Like he don't get too happy that you did Guardians as a movie and it ended up good. Like
Well, at the same time,
Authority,
people love the Suicide Squad shit, so that kind of what helped him get DC as well, because they consider
wouldn't say-
Suicide Squad, or I guess
my whole thing, Suicide Squad 2 was better than 1 for sure.
way better.
But I wouldn't say I loved the movie.
Nah, it's a watchable movie compared to the first one.
Compared to the first one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But those are things that sometimes it just depends too. Like it's a decent movie, but I give the credit to John Cena and certain actors because they make the movie more interesting.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, I gotta go get some water. I'll be back.
If anybody wants to come on and talk about some shit, hold on. About to post another thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how DC is gonna be. I don't know what's gonna fucking happen. I just hope that everything is good. I want another good Superman. I could care less about Batman. Even though he needs to be in there. I would love a better fucking Shazam. But we'll see how that goes. But we'll see. We'll see. No one's watching this shit. Fuck it. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. Oh, there's a private chat. Hold on a second. Nope. So anyway, what's up, people? I'm gonna try to put up something we were talking about. Let's go here. I'm gonna go here. Share the screen.
So Ruben left us, I'm guessing.
He said he'll be back, but he didn't. And then Steven's supposed to come up, but I don't know why. I was just gonna play the Penguin trailer since we were going.
I don't think I even watched that shit.
Yes, I do.
Did it just come out or something?
It kind of sort of came out like a week ago, but the whole thing is based on that.
I heard nothing about that shit.
It's based on the last Batman movie. But the
Yeah,
thing
that's
is,
all I know.
this is why I don't like DC.
Mhm.
They're still going along with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. They're still
Oh,
going
yeah.
on with this Batman, but it has nothing to do with James Gunn's,
Mhm.
universe. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right. So then, because if you're appealing to the average moviegoer, they're
Mhm.
not gonna understand any of this.
Baby, yes, I do mean you.
What you mean, the connection?
Yeah, because no one's gonna understand like, oh, this is part of the same universe. or not.
That's partially true. Because they're not gonna
You gotta
take
ask yourself.
time to put it together.
Yeah.
What kind of life do I want?
You're missing the trailer, asshole.
Because I don't care about.
The world ain't built for guys like us. That's why we gotta take whatever we decide is ours.
And it's a TV show based on the Penguin.
Is Carmine Falco's right
The only thing I give credit
Gotta push
to
me
out of
out.
that is fucking Colin Farrell was able to put that fat suit on and sell it.
He could, but somebody put an actor that looks exactly like that,
Mhm.
and it was just like, why didn't you just get that actor?
You ain't seen what I can
Because
do.
he's probably not good enough.
If you step out of line, even
Dude,
once,
the only
I'll catch you
reason
like a
I don't
goddamn
really
fish.
kind of care about this because I did want to watch it
Can you
originally.
imagine?
Is once
People
I knew
seeing
the
my name
Batman
in the
movie wasn't
streets
gonna
after
matter
gone.
anymore,
Yeah.
I was
Could
like,
it mean
I don't
something?
care. Like if I knew y'all were building something off of these things, then I'm invested because I like the Batman movie.
Yeah, I think that's the concept
The new
that
kingpin of Gotham.
these people that are doing comic movies don't understand is that we like the tie-ins. We
Mhm.
like to know that things are in the same universe, or
No,
all
that's a
that
fucking fact. Like,
and it makes us excited. That's why fucking Marvel was
Mhm.
doing so good for fucking 10 years.
you get excited because you have something to look forward to be, even
Yeah.
if it's a connection of a story type thing.
Exactly. And that's why they're having problems now, because what's what? And then Kang, and now they're gonna get another actor because he's
We
having
don't know
these
yet. We don't
issues.
know yet. We don't know yet.
Oh,
They're trying to make Disney break, but Disney hasn't broke yet. And my man went. You know what my man went to go do since this happened? You know who he's dating now?
who?
A baddie, a legendary baddie.
Amber
Megan
Heard.
Good. Megan Good. Yo, you get Megan Good. And Megan Good still look good.
Yo, did you
Yeah.
hear MGK's fucking diss to what's his name?
With the Jack Harlow shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all funny, but it was cool
Yeah.
because like they can rap. They all respectably can actually rap. So it's funny because like, bro, after you beat through Eminem, you became a rock star and you started dating this chick, and
Yeah.
now y'all broke up, and now you're trying to go backwards to go back and da da da. But all right, do you know why he dissed him in that freestyle?
No, I don't even know.
So Jack was the week before that, Jack Harlow dropped a surprise album or mixtape. I don't know what they consider it, but one of his songs he says, "I'm the best white rapper since the rapper that like spaghetti blah 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 shit reference Eminem." So it became like a joke from the podcast and shit that I listened to because it was like, oh, it was white wars and da da da, and it was just at the end of the day, like I think it was the Rory and Maul shit they were breaking down it, and it was just they act like each other like, oh, who you think is like the best right back, like if it came down to a thing. And I fully agree. I was just like, right now, if you're really gonna pick a white rapper or entertaining aspect in that way, like I know you don't know really much about him because he's not mainstream, but Russ, like that, like I became a fan of him because he produces his own shit. He puts his own shit out. Like he'll drop random singles off of songs that he just makes randomly, like one out of a week, whatever. Like, and you see him and it's just some long hair kid. And you know how he caught my shit? He was beefing with I guess you want to call them underground or indie rappers, whatever you want to call them. Like, would go to festivals and people on Twitter and social media used to hate him. Like he got popular off of hate because people used to not like him because he would rap on songs about other rappers saying like, yo, these niggas don't really be doing drugs, or yo, doing drugs isn't cool, da da da. Like he talked real shit. Like and the nigga could rap. So in that festival and that type of world, people don't want to hear that shit, blah blah, you know. They get tired of it. So it became he had like not a black cloud really because it didn't really hurt him, but he's not popularized like that. And it kind of sucks because that's one of those people that I feel like if people pay attention, like, yo, he raps on songs with Black Thought, he's rapping on songs with all these fucking great rappers, and like people respect what he does. And he does it all, like all his money is profit to him. He gets all his shit himself. Like the nigga does something that a lot of people can't even do right now, you know? Like, so when they were bringing down and talking about all that shit, is like Jack Harlow, yeah, he's cool. I think Jack Harlow can rap, but for some reason he doesn't get my ear. I think it's because he's just a younger thing. Da da da. The MGK shit, I always thought MGK could rap. I just think he's fucking weird. And I respect the fact that he did go at this dude because of the like you're gonna go at M and everything with M, and I give you credit because you had the balls to actually try and do what you did, but you had to go at this dude because one, the white rapper list is not that long. Two, if you want to get any recognition, the easiest person to shoot at right now that's mainstream poppy is gonna be that dude.
Yeah.
So you know you do what you do. And then you work that way. But I think my favorite line on that whole freestyle, because like I said, I don't listen to him, but I did listen to a few songs. Like he does, like what the how he said, he basically called them a Drake ripoff, like because he stole Drake's flow and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty funny because that's what a lot of people are saying, and I guess it's somewhat true in their own thing if you want to say. But it's end of the day. I wish Mac Miller was still alive and he didn't go through his shit because I think Mac Miller would have been the top white rapper after Eminem.
You think so?
He talented as fuck. Like I listened to his last album before he died because I heard mad reviews about it before and they were talking about it. They were like, if you really listen to it, you could see like the depression and the really like everything coming really bad. Like because he talks about it on the album.
Yeah.
And it's like it sucks because I can hear it. But at the same time, I was like, this is such great music, like the beats and the melodies and everything. Like, I was like, damn, like this kid go. And he could freestyle all that shit. Like, the kid was able to rap. It just sucks that drugs and fucking fame can depress you and all of that shit. And he fucking ended up dying.
Didn't they talk about him in the DJ AM documentary? Because they died at the same time around?
Yeah, they did die around the same time. I don't remember the DJ AM documentary. And I probably didn't even watch it because I think that shit is just depressing.
I don't know because they talk about it, and I don't know who died first, but it was one of them talk about like you see in the documentary that they're talking to each other, and they say goodnight. But I think one of them I
think it was AM died first, yeah, and then Mac Miller died after, yeah.
So it was just like, damn, two depressing guys, like. But the thing about I like about the DJ AM documentary is like this motherfucker was so good at his shit, and I don't believe in like destiny or whatever, but I was just like, yo, he found his calling because they showed him as a kid with 2 CD players, you know, like the Walkman CD players.
Yeah, no shit,
he found a way to link 2 CD players into something that he could DJ and switch off of, like almost like 2 turntables. I was like, this motherfucker. And he even said, like, it's in the documentary. Like he said, I forgot which guy was telling it the story, but saying how like, yo, I went to a club with him before he got popular. And he was just like, you want to see some people fight? And they're like, what? Yeah, sure. And he was famous for putting 2 totally different vibe of a song, like country and fucking like hip hop or rock and something else together. and make it mix well.
Mm.
So he was just like, all right, I'm gonna, he told one of these people like, I'm gonna get these motherfuckers to fight, and he's like, yo, you put 2 songs together, these guys started coming to the dance floor, they started fucking swinging, and I was just like, I wish I knew that. I wish I had something like that where it was just like I knew my craft, like I knew what I want to do, and all that. And then
Okay,
he
I
told a
got you.
story about Flex, how he first met Flex, and
Mhm.
like Flex didn't look at him like shit because he was a white boy DJ until Flex met him at like he was DJing at the spot,
Mhm.
and he was just like, yo, I'm gonna do what I have to do, and then
The funny shit that you bring up Flex, like from a little bit that I've heard, like not saying that he's a nice guy or he's an asshole or anything like that, but the dude does hand out opportunities. Like the Rory and Moore shit, one of the people that work with them, they kind of on the pod, but same time they do like the producing and da. Apparently Flex put out a thing looking for interns and ended up snatching up the kid. So like the kid goes to the clubs and he'll start the, DJing before Flex gets there type shit. Little things like that. But it's like that's one of those people that sometimes like I get the joke and I always will think it's funny. Like, yeah, Flex is the guy who spins shit back and he drops bombs and all of that.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, if radio dies or Hot 97 dies at some point in time, and I had to like talk about an hip hop historical aspect of it, talk about Hot 97 is like, no, nigga, like it was a tradition, at least for me, like, 7 o'clock to boom, top 8 at 8, that was Flex, and boom, you're gonna get the bombs, you're gonna get all that shit. It's like there's certain pioneers, like we don't get that no more. Like Angie Martinez is a fucking pioneer in that shit, and it's like it sucks because radio doesn't even do that shit no more. So there's never gonna be a person that would sit there and shoot an interview with an artist that is popular right now live, and then anything could happen. Like back when she was like they would interview 50 or interview shit like that. Like how like beats will happen on the radio,
And Angie was awesome with that because I think she got away with it because she's a female. But on top of that,
and people respect the shit out of her.
They respect the shit because that's what I like about Angie.
Mm-hmm.
She was very controversial.
Mm-hmm.
So, like what you were saying, she'll bring in somebody that's hot and talk about something controversial about them. And then, but not in a disrespecting way, like, oh, I'm going to shit on you. It's like, yo, what's going on with this? Or what's going on with that? Like, I remember the whole P. Diddy and it wasn't Dipset. It was another group. When P. Diddy was putting
the
out...
Locks?
Yes. When P. Diddy was putting out the fucking, I think the Biggie Duets album.
Mm.
And Angie, I remember Angie had him on. And then the phone call from the Locks or something like that came on. And they were talking about how P. Diddy was... The Locks was talking about how P. Diddy fucked me over with money.
Yeah, it's stolen. Yeah.
And it was just like live. It wasn't recorded. I was listening to it on fucking radio. I was like, yo, you have P. Diddy in studio. And then you have the Locks calling saying, yo, you fucked me over. And they're talking about business on live fucking like.
But we're never going to get shit like that no more. Like on the music side, back in the day when we were going to school on the bus and the morning show, there was a point in time at Hot 97 used to actually take phone calls. Like this is what makes it fucking hilarious because like as we talk about like in that aspect of beef shit, the best things was like back when 50 first was 50, like he was becoming who he was and he was beefing with Ja Rule and they would have him on radio talking. Besides the whole shootout shit that happened with Game, I remember one of my favorite things is this nigga went up to the station, was talking shit, doing 50 shit, and he had the sound scan sheets of all the Murder Inc. fucking things, just shitting on them. And it's like, those are the things I always respect. Like, that was good fucking TV. Now everybody wants to be PC and safe, or they go on their fucking phone and yell at the phone until, whatever.
Yeah, I'm about to get off. I'm going to get off live, but I'm going to stay on here.
All right. Ah, fuck, I turned on the wrong.